Welcome back to my second video. Today is March 4th, right now it's 12:13 a.m. So midnight of March 3rd. It's been 4.5 days since my last video, and a lot of things happened. So I feel that very strongly we need to update. The situation has gotten worse significantly. So first of all, there's a discovery of community spread of the coronavirus. Secondly, there's death in the US because of this. Thirdly, CDC has claimed that they don't have enough testing kits, which I already knew, nor do they have enough testing staff, which I already knew. So I just heard on NPR today that somebody's trying to make a lot of them, maybe 1 million soon. Maybe they're making 100,000 units per week, but that's what I heard. We don't know if that's going to happen. And the problem still remains that they don't have enough people. They don't have enough staff to operate. So right now, people have problems getting tested. They think they have it. They don't know. They can't confirm. I don't know what they're doing with them if they're quarantined. So the story, again, personal story I had was that my grandma had caught a flu a while ago, a couple weeks ago. And then she was sent to the hospital. She's 92, and she told, she's 92, she told the people, the nurses, that my mother had gone to Wuhan in November. It was before the outbreak. And then she had come back, and then, she was telling everybody. So obviously, she did not have this virus, coronavirus, but they sort of put her in the negative pressured quarantine for a couple of days just to observe and test her. It caused a little scare. So I don't know if they're doing the same thing to the suspects right now. Suspects sounds bad, but it's what it is. Suspected cases. They're probably doing the same thing, similar things. Well, let's hope they're doing that. So they're quarantined at least, or they may be just quarantined at home. My grandma had the flu, so she needed medical help. So she was having some problems. Anyway, she's recovered, but I'm just saying that the hospital, the medical staff will treat these things very seriously. So by that, you should understand that this is not a joking matter, that this disease is really bad. And from what we know, from what we see, people are not having the awareness that's needed to keep it down. Apparently, China has it somewhat under control, so it's not getting any worse. But the words I get from the insiders is that it's not getting any better. They're just trying to rush people out. They're trying to rush people out, so they can claim that they heal more people, and the death rate is not that bad. The reason behind that is that they're trying to get people back to work. A lot of factories there are just shut down, and nobody was going back to work. But now they're trying to create a image from their false data that people need to go back to work. There's nothing to be scared of, which is baloney, right? But I'm not here to tell you that. I'm here to tell you that this is not getting any easier, and the measures they take in China is draconian. They just shut everybody in. They force everybody in sort of in a confined living area, and then they test everybody with just temperature and all that, and it's bad. It's pretty scary, and there's no way we can do that here in America. People will pull out their guns and shoot each other before that happens. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that there's no way we can have that kind of social quarantine. They could enforce martial law like the movie Outbreak. Go watch it if you don't. It's from 1995. Dustin Hoffman, Renee Russell, and a bunch of Morgan Freeman. A good movie. Go watch it. It's worth a watch. But that's not going to happen. You can't bring the military on the U.S. soil and then force people to stay indoors. But that's the effort that it takes to a certain point, to keep the new cases down to close to zero, to a manageable pace. We can't do it here. We don't have any measure. We don't have vaccine. We don't have medicine. We can't even quarantine that well. It's all upon everybody's shoulder. So everybody, when you watch this, pass it out. There's only about 200 something views from last video. There's about 200 people. Some people might have watched it a couple times, and people don't even watch it all the way through. I know it's a long, boring video. There's no entertainment value here, but I mean, good information can save your life. Okay, it can save other people's life. It's like if you catch this virus, and even if you don't die, you pass it on to other people. Much as you say they're a family, and they die from it. How would you feel? Think about it. If you drove a car and just randomly run somebody over, how would you feel? It's crazy. It's crazy. Life shattering. Okay? You get a few years for involuntary manslaughter, you go to prison, but just the fact that you ended somebody's life. Think about that. It may be different. It may be different from this. It may be because, I'm a victim too, I got sick too. But accidental doesn't make it better. If this happens, because I was speaking to my friend that had this, and he was telling me a lot of people that he knew around him had this disease. They were passing on, the whole family had it. He was fortunate that he was the only one in the family, and he's fine. He's not going to die. He's going to recover gradually, eventually. But, think about those families, with the entire family getting this, entire family dying from this. Anyway, going too far off. Okay, let's talk about why this virus is so dangerous. It's because it's very, very transmissive. It's far more than the flu, like I said. I said it wasn't far more, but it could be. I want to correct my last assessment from the last video. At around 8-minute mark, I said something about, if we don't do anything, maybe 20 million people in America would get it. But then afterwards, I thought about it. No, we had a flu shot. About 37% of the adults received the flu shots, and maybe even more children do that. So, that really reduces the total number of cases of the flu. If we don't have that, we don't even have a vaccine for the coronavirus, and it's more transmissive. Think about it. At least 100 million people can get it out of America. 1 in every 3, or even more. 1 in every 2. Look around you. See? Just look around you right now. See who's going to get it. And then maybe 5% of those people die. That's like 10 million people. Something around that. Because by that time, our medical facility, all the medical staff, they're going to go crazy. We don't have enough people to save people. We don't have equipment. We don't have anything. People are just going to either power through it and see what happens and live with the results, or just succumb to it. Anyway, that's a sad thing, because people don't care until it happens. People don't worry about it until it hits. This virus is known to survive outside of the body for 9 days. 9 days. Well, granted, it may not be infectious anymore, this virus, but traces can be found. You never know. Okay? Like somebody just accidentally spilled something. And it transfers not by direct contact, not even by spit, by some sort of new term, aerogel. Aerogel, what is aerogel? I don't know. It's just the fog. If you breathe out the fog, like in the cold weather, that may be transmissive. And that's going to float in the air for maybe, 30 feet away. Hard to imagine, huh? That could happen. And it has asymptomatic contagion. So it's similar to HIV. So a lot of people has the HIV virus. They don't have AIDS. So they're not dying from it. They're not getting really sick from it, but they can pass it on. And they don't know. Okay? That's the dangerous part. Another huge danger. This is going to be a pandemic of, order we've never seen, because the modern society really has, people can get around really quickly. You take a flight, you're on the other side of the world within 1 day. You don't know you're carrying it. And then we're flying millions and millions of people every day around. That's why it's going to be a pandemic. traveling speed is really fast. Okay? And before you know, it's going to be around you, all around you. Okay, so in face of that, what to do? Basically, what not to do. Okay? Like Tulsi Gabbard on Fox News, she had a segment saying that we should just shut off all kinds of traveling to Italy, to Iran, to any sort of country who may have identified cases. But traveling should be stopped by air, right? People just drive. If you want to go somewhere, drive your own car. The trains, the subways, those closed, confined places really need to, be stopped. Okay, public transit. I know people need to get to work. It's hard to stop people from getting to work, and the society will not function. We're Americans. We need to work. Oh. So New York is making their own test kits. Okay, they're like CDC are just too slow. The only reason we only have 100 something confirmed cases right now, as of today, as I'm speaking, the only reason is that CDC does not have enough testing ability. If they can just test everybody who wants to test, bam, you're gonna see the number grow. By the time I upload this video, probably you're gonna see it already, or maybe within a couple of days. Anyway, there are some kits, testing kits, self-help testing kits that's available, but I don't know why people are not getting it. I don't think it's safe or something, or I don't know. I don't know what the reasons are. I think the hospital at least need to consider, the local hospital need to consider to pick them up. You give some sort of, test, send a few to CDC and then try to see how they work. If they work at all, if they don't, they're not like, 100% useless, then we should use them. They're cheap. They're like $5, $10 each. That's, CDC, they test you, it costs $3,000 something dollars. $1,500, something like that. Why not just get a bunch of like $10 testing kits and have the hospital, do something. Okay, so a couple of things. Oh, last time I mentioned about building yourself a good quarantine space, a little space in your house. If that's doable, if you have enough space in your house, do it. But remember that room or that area needs to have fresh air, have access to fresh air. It has a window, something like that. You can open it up and then let the wind blow out the air. That's very important. And also avoid, just enclosed space with a lot of people in it. Don't go to a ball game. March Madness, oh my goodness, it's gonna be mad. I mean, after a couple of weeks, you're gonna see a lot of people getting it. The test kits are gonna be out, and they're gonna confirm a lot of people. The initial innate period is gonna be gone. A lot of people who are carrying it right now, they may pass into other people, and other people may catch it. Within a week or two, you're gonna see an explosion. Okay, just on March 10th, March 15th. Okay, so I have really nothing more to contribute to you. At this moment, start building good habits. Okay, wash your hands. That's important. Try to stay away from these things. Go pick up something and go to pick up a coffee, drive through or something. Just leave. Don't hang out all day. Be disciplined. Don't go to places you don't need to go to. If you have to ride on the public transit, get a mask. It helps. Get a mask and try to stay your distance from people. Okay. Also, boost your own immunity. I do have a little remedy I can share with everyone. I just made a video in the morning and then I'm going to put it in the back. Basically, you take a piece of ginger and then you make a little soup or just a shot of something, and then that's going to give you a healing sensation. That's going to boost your immunity. And that's our family recipe. And this worked so far. It actually works for cold and all that. If you're feeling, slightly under the weather, don't wait. Just take that and then you get sweated out and you feel better. And it really helps in boosting, give it a quick kick of your immune system. And do that in the morning. Well, just keep watching. It'll come up, okay? So that's it. Goodbye. And I really don't want to come back and do this again, but I have a bad feeling about it. Mr. Han Solo. I have a really bad feeling about it. Okay, so let's make some ginger soup. soup. I have some made here. This is one. This is another. Let's see if we can focus on them a little bit. So this is how much you might need for one person. You can see different colors. This one is slightly more yellow. This one is less so because this one has honey in there. All right. So let's make a batch. There's a big piece of ginger. All right. So for one person, about this much. About this much. One person, you might need just one chunk right here. For two, you get another chunk right here. We have a family of four. For five, we use a chunk about this size, you know. So do your thing. I'm gonna just to make another chunk. It's very simple. So what you can do, you can, you know, peel it or whatever. But if you don't peel it, that's fine. Just make sure it's clean. All right. So I'm gonna chop it up. So you can see this. All right, this one chunk right here. I'm gonna chop it up into slices. The thinner the better, but you know, shape doesn't really matter. Just chop it up. Okay, get a pot. So if just for comparison, I have a pack of gum here. That's how big everything is. There's a Starbucks gum, like a, you know, compared to my hand. It's like a deck of cards. So I will get a small pot right here, and I'm gonna put it in. All right. No, these are just peels. Peels are fine. They work. Okay, how much water to add? Basically, you know, if you're drinking that much, don't get too much water. If you're gonna drink, let's say, you want to drink about this much, then you just add a little more because water evaporates, and then add that in, and then put it on stove until it boils for maybe 5-10 minutes, and then you're done. It's very spicy, but it's good for you. It's gonna boost your immune system. It's our family remedy, and it really works. Thank you. Okay, so now it's done. Let's see how it is. I should do a slow-mo, but I'll just pour this out. Nice and hot. You should drink it nice and hot. There's some chunks in there, but that's fine. I don't mind it. If you don't want it, you could fish them out with a spoon or something. But drink it as hot as possible, and take it in one shot if possible. This one's a little bit too watery, so next time add a little less water. So I think this much water will do. Okay, I'm gonna drink it when it cools down. Just leave it for a minute and drink it while it's hot. And take it in one shot, and you're gonna feel a burning sensation down your throat, and it's gonna, what it does, it's going to really boost your immune system. So do that in the morning. Don't do that at night, okay? Don't do this at night because you may not sleep well. But if you do it in the morning, you should be fine. If it's too spicy for you, again, add some honey or whatever, syrup, sugar, whatever floats your boat, makes it more palatable. But it's no worse than taking a shot of tequila, right? So there you go.